Okay, so for this session, we're going to do something called a thought log or journal or record. This intervention is focused on your thoughts, and we kind of want to look at the things leading up to the anxiety and stress and feelings of dread, and look at the thoughts that are associated with those feelings and those situations, and we just want to break down those thoughts and really look into them and try to find the truth and the falseness in those thoughts, and then hopefully come up with, reconstruct those thoughts into more positive or more accurate, more valid thoughts, just to help you manage those feelings and to make these situations not so negative for you. And it's thoughts are pretty small, and we don't really recognize or consider our thoughts that much, but by small and simple things are great things brought to pass.
Yeah.
So by just looking at these thoughts, we can make change going forward for the better. So this process, we start at the very beginning, foundation of the concerns, being the situation or the trigger that causes these negative emotions to happen. So what situations or what triggers recently, what happened to cause you to?
Well, a couple weeks ago there was a group of people I know does a cookbook club once a month where just a bunch of people get together. It's like a potluck. Everyone brings food, and so there's one of those a couple of weeks ago that made me pretty anxious.
Okay, and when did it happen?
It was like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, okay. And you said it was with some acquaintances. Are you friendly with them, or how would you rate your relationship with them?
Yeah, it's friendly, but I mean, I wouldn't say I know them very well. Like, spending time with them one-on-one for a long period of time might be a little uncomfortable because I just don't know them very well, but
Okay.
yeah.
So it's strangeness of it, the uncertainty of the people, because you don't really know them.
Exactly, yeah.
And then when does it become a triggering moment?
It depends, but sometimes it could be as much as a few days in advance because I'll start thinking like, oh, I need to go to this thing, I should go to this thing, and so then I start to dread the event, even if it's a couple days away.
Okay. So lead up to the event, there's a lot of, okay. So now we'll go transition to the next portion, which is focusing on your feelings.
Okay.
Your feelings. And so with this situation of going to a cookbook club, what emotions did you feel?
Dread,
For
sure.
Okay.
And then anxiety. Yeah. Those are probably the two biggies.
Two.
Yeah.
Anything else you can think of?
Not really. Those feel kind of all-encompassing, I guess.
Okay. How intense were these feelings? If you had to rate it from 0 to 100%, with 0 being not at all, not present at all, or 100% being the most impactful it could be, how would you rate that feeling of dread leading up to?
Like 95%.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And then same thing with anxiety. How would you rate the intensity?
Like 90%?
Okay, yeah. So I mean that pretty much takes over your body.
Yeah.
You're feeling those emotions that hard
Yeah.
and that intense. They really, alter your perception of the environment. All of a sudden, things are more stressful, and you're not safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
it makes life more challenging. So let's look at now the thoughts, the process leading up to the social event being the cookbook club once a month with acquaintances, but mostly strangers, people you're not really know, and it's a lot of the anxiety and dread are leading up to the event. So, what thoughts are you thinking? What do you think? What went through your mind?
Like I'm afraid of being awkward.
Okay.
People are gonna think I'm annoying.
Okay.
People don't like me.
Okay.
Talking to people is exhausting.
Exhausting. Yes. So I'm afraid of being awkward. People are going to think I'm annoying. People don't like me, and talking with people is exhausting. What do you think these thoughts say about you?
Probably that I'm not very confident.
And what would be the worst thing that could happen in this situation?
Probably that I'll leave and people will talk about how weird and annoying I am.
It's hard to know what people are thinking.
Yeah.
That can be stressful.
Yeah.
Especially if you're feeling awkward or you don't feel confident.
Yeah.
You're gonna think everyone's
Noticing that too. Yeah.
So that makes things very challenging, and makes social situations where they're supposed to be kind of more beneficial and for you and a chance to meet new people. It's now it just becomes a super negative, almost like a punishing type of experience.
Yeah.
So let's look at these thoughts that you had. Feeling I'm afraid of being awkward. People are going to think I'm annoying. People don't like me. Talking to people are exhausting. I'm not confident. I'll leave and people will talk about how weird and annoying I am. Of these thoughts, which one stands out to you the most? Which one do you think is the most impactful to your feeling dread, anxiety?
Probably people don't like me.
People don't like you. Okay. So with that, we're going to circle it. People don't like you. This is like our core thought, the one we're really going to look at. So what are the facts about this thought? People don't like you. What are the facts behind that thought?
You mean like that? That makes me believe it. That support that idea.
Support that. Yeah. Makes it feel true to you.
That's a good question. Maybe people. People don't make a lot of effort to be around me.
like no one's calling to say, hey, let's hang out, or
Yeah.
okay. What else? What other facts can you think of to support the thought of people don't like me?
I would think of any. Maybe I don't have a ton of friends.
Okay. Any other facts you can think of to support the thought of people don't like me?
Not really.
No, that's it.
That's kind of all I can think of.
Okay. All right. What are now we've looked at support, now what facts provide evidence against the unhelpful thought of people don't like me?
Well, I guess if I really think about it, I do have a couple friends here who consistently invite me to do stuff with them, like at least once a week.
Okay. What else?
I mean, I have friends back home who check in on me. My family's pretty interested in keeping in contact with me as well.
What about looking at the facts to support it? Do you think they're actual facts, or do you think they're more opinions? What do you think about?
I mean, probably more opinions. Yeah.
And these facts right here against the thought of people don't like me. A couple of friends invite me to do stuff once a week. Is that a fact?
Yes.
Friends back home check in on me. How often would you say they do that?
I mean, not super often, but maybe every month or every other month or so.
Okay. And then family likes to keep up with you, see what you're doing. How often does that occur?
I talk to my mom and sister like every day. So.
So, so do you feel like these are more evidence-based thoughts?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think someone would say about this situation? If you told one of these friends that you have that people don't like you, people don't like me, what would they say to you? What do you think?
I mean, I think they'd say that wasn't true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you think they'd say that?
I mean, because they obviously make an effort to spend time with me, so they must like me. So if they do, then it's probably likely that other people do too.
If you were to have, say, you mentioned you had a sister. Say your sister was having a hard time making friends. She wanted to have a close relationship with someone, but she just didn't feel like people enjoyed being around her. What would you say to her?
I would say that's not true, and that also sometimes it just takes time, sometimes it takes effort on your part to make friendships. Yeah. And sometimes it just takes meeting the right people. 'Cause not everybody's compatible.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, not everybody's personalities match up. Not everyone, you're not going to be best friends with everybody that you meet. So it's okay to not be best friends with everybody that you meet. It's okay if you guys don't jive from the very beginning. Sometimes there are people who are better suited to actually be your friends.
So, based off what you just said, how do you think about the idea of people don't like you, people don't like me?
It's probably not true.
What's the evidence for that thought not being true?
Well, there are people that like me. So, I mean,
do you think you could count how many people like you? If you had a minute to name everyone who likes you, do you think you could do it?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
If you had, never mind. So, how does this make you feel now about that? What are you feeling?
Makes me realize that probably I'm a little harder on myself than I should be. And that I should maybe not get so stuck in my head, but think about, the evidence that there actually are people who like me. And, yeah.
So, social situation, cookbook club, is once a month, so it's coming up in 2 weeks. What will you do differently from now until then? What do you think will be most helpful in that situation?
Maybe just when that thought that people don't like me surfaces, to just maybe even just make a mental note of all the people that I know do like me. And that can help me maybe feel more confident.
What will the consequences be for doing that?
Hopefully it'll make me feel better about myself and not be so hard on myself and not feel as anxious when I'm gonna meet people.
So you can see how you kind of go slow, line upon line with this process. You can have an outcome that's more positive and actually based on actual evidence. So here's the sheet that I've been writing on, and you can see it's outlined each stage of the process, and below it has the questions that I asked you. So when you're, for between now and cookbook club in a month, in 2 weeks. When you think about it and you get these feelings of dread, anxiety, stop and really focus on what you're thinking. And it's probably going to revolve around the idea of people don't like me, and that's scary to be around people. So focus on those thoughts, and then you can break down the evidence for that thought by answering these questions, and then do the opposite and find evidence against that thought by answering the questions. And so this is, and then you can add perspective to it, and then finally write down at the end how you actually feel. And, so this whole thing is an idea, it's a practice, it's an exercise. It's all about changing the way you think. And the way you think, if you change it, it changes your brain, your chemistry. And if those thoughts, it's not going to go away in a day, or it's going to take some time and work, and this takes effort. But it's doable effort, and the effort can result in a change in your nervous system, in your brain, your neurons. There will be less stress and anxiety. The fight or flight part of the nervous system will lessen. The more and more you challenge these thoughts and create new thoughts, and new thoughts that are actually not biased in any way. They're not wishful thinking, like, that don't have any evidence, but they're real thoughts that are factual and they're valid. And you can challenge those opposing thoughts at the same time. So how do you feel about doing this? Do you think it's something you're capable of handling?
Yeah, totally. I like it.
Do you think it'll be helpful?
Yeah, I do.
So could you make a goal? What goal do you want to do between now and, let's say, cookbook club in 2 weeks? What's a goal you want to do that we can measure?
Maybe every time, or maybe at least once when I'm feeling anxious about it, I can fill out one of these.
Okay.
Or think about one of the, or like kind of go through the steps.
Okay, nice. So how often do you think that happens in a day? If you had to guess.
Well, it's usually surrounding those social situations. So I mean, it would probably be closer, like maybe the couple days leading up to it.
Okay.
Maybe like once a day before that.
Okay. So let's really focus on those days then.
Okay.
And let's make the goal, maybe just to be safe, how do you feel about doing 2 days before? You do at least one thought log.
Yeah.
In each of those days.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay. All right, sweet.
Thank you.
No problem.